Hello guys and welcome back to Let's Talk Arsenal, where today we'll be reviewing yesterday's game, Arsenal against Leeds. We've given ourselves the night to sleep on it so we can wake up sort of fresh-minded with our proper opinions. And I think the first thing that we should discuss is the starting lineup. Yesterday. So when the starting lineup came out, we were all gassed because initially, obviously, I was pushing for Willock to get some minutes, so Willock was starting. And we were all pushing for Aubameyang to play as number 9 and Lacazette to be dropped, and that was the case. What was your opinion now that you've slept on it and look? I mean, I know it's easy to look back on it, and hindsight is a wonderful thing. But was there any thoughts at the time that of negativity, sort of thinking, maybe it's done the wrong thing?
I think from my perspective, when the starting 11 came out, I was like, and I think I speak for all Arsenal fans when I say that I was quite happy with the starting 11. Elneny wasn't there. Obviously, he had COVID, but still, Elneny wasn't there. Laka was dropped. Pepe came into the starting 11. A lot of people were calling for Willock to be given a chance. That happened. We went from a back 5 to a back 4. So all of the signs were right, I would say. I was happy with the 11.
How about the fact that Willian started? Were you content with the fact that obviously his position had shifted to the left wing? Were you content with the fact that Willian started over Saka?
No, to be honest with you, I thought Saka wasn't going to start. I thought Saka was probably going to be rested due to fatigue and all of that kind of stuff. You got to think about the amount of games that we've got coming up and the amount of games that Saka's already played. It was crazy. It was too much, and I kind of anticipated he wasn't going to start in that sense. But I don't know. What did you think?
Even the fact that Saka was brought on. I mean, I would have started Saka, but then now that he was brought on and he's still in that half an hour or so that he played, he got injured. It made me think that maybe it was the correct decision by Arteta not to start him in the first place. I'm just not sure that our squad is strong enough to be able to drop people like Saka, which is what annoyed me with Southgate playing him in the last match in the Nations League when England were already out. Played him 90 minutes, not even played him an hour or one half. Played him for 90 minutes. So I would have, when the team first came out, I would have started Saka at the end of the game, and not that I've slept on it. I think it was the right decision not to start Saka. I would have liked to see. I know Luis was not in the squad due to the fact that he had a baby, and these are things that are personal matters. But I would have liked to see Luis start. I'm not even going to discuss the fact that Saliba, I think, should be getting minutes. But maybe Leeds away is not the first game that Saliba should be playing. But personally, I wouldn't have started Willian. Come what may, I wouldn't have started Willian. We are under strict orders in this country for a lockdown. He shouldn't be. He's broken lockdown rules unless he's going for business purposes, which is what the rules say. He can go for business purposes, or unless Arteta can come out in public and say, "Look, he's been given permission for whatever reason." Then fine. But for me, Willian shouldn't have started the match. I think for his mental state, the fact that there was issues and we came into the game talking about him, and for the fact that since the Fulham game he hasn't performed well once. I was very happy that Pepe was starting. I was very happy that Aubameyang was starting down the middle. But there was still. Arteta's come in as a sort of disciplinarian. He's come in, sort of stomped his foot down. He said, "Ozil, you're not working hard enough in training. Out of you from the squad." Guendouzi shows some ill discipline out of the squad, and then now Willian. I don't know. It just makes me think that there's some underlying reasons why Willian continues to start. There's something in his contract. There's some agreement with his agent, which is Edu's agent. What do you think? Do you think there's something there, or it's just he's just starting Willian because he likes him?
Personally, I agree with what you just said. I don't think when Arteta was talking about his non-negotiables and all of this kind of thing, I do agree that he shouldn't have started from that perspective, because even Arteta, when it was put to him in the press conference, when they asked him about Willian, the way he responded was in a way that actually Willian did it without his permission.
Yeah.
Because he kept on saying, "Oh, it's been dealt with behind the scenes," and all of this kind of thing. So when he starts talking like that, you start thinking to yourself, okay, then. So he's obviously done something wrong.
Yeah.
And when you want to talk about discipline and non-negotiables, well, you got to apply the same rule to everyone. Whether that's Aubameyang or whether that's Reece Nelson or whether that's Willian or whether it's Guendouzi. You got to keep the same energy. So from that perspective, I agree that Willian shouldn't have started. But then when I look at it from a perspective of like, okay, put aside the discipline thing, because we don't know what was going on behind the scenes. There might genuinely have been a reason for him to go to Dubai. It might have been authorized by
because what would be
Arteta.
interesting is that you're not allowed. I've read the rules, so you're not allowed for any holiday reasons. It has to be work or business related and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even within the UK or internationally, so he's not allowed to fly. So it'd be interesting to see if he gets fined or something like that from the government, because this is a factual situation. Where
But I mean, Arteta kept on saying there's personal stuff, but he started bringing up a lot of personal things with William. So it just makes me think that there might have been an issue. But put all that to one side. When you're talking about actual starting 11, it's him playing was not for me was not as important. So him being dropped wasn't as important for me as Lacazette being dropped. Reason I say that is Lacazette being dropped isn't just because he's a bad player, but it's also because it puts Aubameyang out wide, and I think that Aubameyang's best position is through the middle. So that's why I wanted Lacazette to get dropped. But then when you look at Willian and you look at our options, bro, I mean, you need to rest Saka. Yeah. So what's the other option? It's either Willian or Reece Nelson. And then it's arguable that Reece Nelson should have started. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have started, but what I'm trying to say is Willian away from home. Reece Nelson hasn't had really a run of games yet. He's been getting injured and coming back from injury and stuff like that. Maybe Arteta didn't want to throw him in, knowing that there's a Europa League game coming up, etc. So
but if it's only a squad, if it's only a conversation of squad that we started Willian because our other options are just disgusting.
Yeah.
Then I understand starting Willian. Yeah. But we're talking about a situation here where he showed ill discipline. So, like, for example, if we're talking about our squad, then Ozil has to start.
But that's what I'm trying to say, Haidar, though, that like okay, it's ill discipline and all of that kind of thing. But what are the underlying factors? What are the circumstances around it? We just know that he went to Dubai and came back, and that Arteta saying it's being dealt with. The thing is, when we talk about disciplining and all of that kind of thing, from what I understood with Guendouzi, was he was refusing to budge on when Arteta was disciplining him. He was refusing, for example, to apologise or and things like that. With Ozil, bro, Ozil's a different story. Ozil was doing things apparently behind the scenes. He was coming out with all these mad interviews with Ornstein, basically cussing the club from top to bottom. Yeah. So Ozil's discipline is a different topic. Willian might have apologised behind the scene. When Arteta says it's been dealt with, he might have apologised, and for Arteta, it might not be kind of like disciplinarian, that's it, you've done a mistake, you're being dropped. It might be that, like, this is the rules, are you going to apologise or not? If you apologise, cool, I'll forgive, let's hope it doesn't happen again. But if he doesn't, and then okay,
the thing is, for someone like Arteta, who's had coronavirus himself, it's of more importance for people to follow lockdown rules because he's felt it. He knows what exactly it's like.
I think the amount of testing that Premier League footballers get, they're always less at risk than the normal citizen. So in that situation, Dubai, has he got even? Like,
but
then we move on from actually the discipline thing, and like you said, his performances on the pitch are not warranting a start.
Yeah, I mean, is playing Willian wide left better than playing Oba wide left after what Willian's performance is?
Exactly.
It's debatable.
Exactly.
And then we move on to our next point. So then we shifted Aubameyang into the middle. And for me, our attacking options were just as bad yesterday as they have been in previous weeks. And Lacazette seemed to get more chances than Aubameyang got. Or more clear-cut chances than Aubameyang got. Do you think the not experiment, but I mean it's one of the first times since I remember that Aubameyang's played as number 9. Do you think it worked? Would you still play it going forward? Do you think like is it? I mean it's tough and harsh to say that after one go Aubameyang shouldn't be starting as number 9. But do you think that there was much difference in our attacking play between having Aubameyang in the middle and having Lacazette in the middle?
The problem with Aubameyang is that Aubameyang through the middle is he needs to use his pace a lot. He's not a finesse type player. He's not the type of player that dribbles and takes people on and this kind of thing. And the issue that we were having is that when you're playing a player like Aubameyang up front, there's two things. There's an issue that Aubameyang has to take responsibility for, and there's an issue that the team has to take a responsibility for. For me, Aubameyang, I don't know what it is, but I don't feel like he's got that drive at the moment. Yeah. It's not the same drive that was there last season. I'm not going to say, since he signed his new contract, and start throwing shade at him like that. I don't know what the reason is. But I can't see him. He's not putting in that kind of 100% effort.
Does it look like since Ozil was dropped out of the squad, there seems to be not a split or a divide in the squad, but there seems to be people who are not working as hard. There's definitely something.
Ozil was frozen out of the team last year after lockdown. Ozil was frozen out of the team. He wasn't playing. I don't think he was even getting on the bench. Ozil last season after lockdown. We went on and we won the the FA Cup, and Aubameyang was playing well. He scored a couple of goals in the semi-final, scored a couple of goals in the final, and he just looked like. Remember, everyone was on him, getting him to sign a new contract because he was doing bits, bro.
Do you think he was promised something in the transfer window that didn't come up? Do you think he was promised that attacking mid? He was promised
maybe, but at the same time, yeah, you've signed that new contract. You're captain of Arsenal. You got to put the performances on the pitch. I'm not interested in this signing or that signing. You've got that new contract. You're the captain of the club. You got to set an example. That's looking at it from a personal point of view. I wanted to see a bit more drive, a bit more
prove himself that he got that number 9 spot. Yeah, now, play through the middle,
exactly.
Doing well though.
Even at points where the keeper would get the ball. I remember Aubameyang last season closing down that keeper.
He scored a couple goals like that.
Exactly. Closing down that keeper immediately. It wasn't happening this time. All right, cool. I'm not going to go in on Aubameyang too much just because he has done a lot for Arsenal and maybe his confidence is down a little bit because he hasn't been scoring goals and whatnot and the team isn't playing very well. So cool. And it's that kind of it spreads across the whole team. He's the
captain of the team.
He's the whole captain. But Haidar, at the same time, and you were one of the guys that were calling for Willock to play last season. I'm sorry, bro. What do you think about Willock? What did you think of Willock yesterday?
Yesterday, he seemed to be, and this is an issue that maybe it is the adaptation from the Europa League to the Premier League. He seemed to be taking too long on the ball. He wanted to impress too much. Whenever he would get the ball, he would try and take more than 1 or 2 players on. He would try and play the killer pass straight away. As in, after he's taken one player on, he's trying to play a killer pass rather than building up the play. And sometimes he just seemed to be lacking in ideas. Maybe that's because of the quality of team that he's coming up against. But I still do think that it's harsh to judge a player like Willock, who's young and who's had a few good performances in the Europa League. It's hard to judge him straight away based on one performance. Bro. I think when we started off the second half, especially, he looked semi-decent, which is why maybe when he was coming off, he looked pissed off. But at the beginning of the second half, he looked like he was at least working a bit harder. The first half, my biggest criticism of him was he didn't seem to even care the fact that he's been given this opportunity. Usually, Nelson came on, and Nelson I felt really sorry for. Because Nelson came on, it looked like he was ready to do something. But then within 6 minutes of him coming on, we went down to 10 men. So he had to, straight away, it's a different game plan, different position for him. Willock in the first half, that entire 45 minutes, it felt like he was one of those where for example, maybe an Aubameyang or a world-class player where they know no matter how badly they play, they're going to be starting next game. I don't think Willock is in a position to think like that.
Yeah, but Haidar, this just goes back to what I was saying in the last episode when we were talking about Arteta. It's Willock, bruv. It's Willock. These are the very similar performances that he was given last season. In the Europa, he was doing very well, but when he steps up into the Premier League, he goes missing. I was saying last week, yeah, give him a chance, because all the other options are just doing shit at the moment. We're just there's no one across the board that is doing well consistently.
That's the issue, isn't it? That's the issue. It's not like the rest of the team is playing amazing. Yeah, but he's playing shit.
Personally, I don't think Willock has the decision making and the technical ability to play in a number 10. The only thing that Willock has that he is good is that he makes runs into the box and can score a few goals.
Maybe that's what we needed as well. We don't have anybody else at the moment who can play, could do that, especially because we're dropping.
Yeah, but he doesn't do that in the Premier League though, because the quality goes up a level, and he's at the moment he's not able to shift his level that high.
Trying to make at least Willock can maybe take a defender away. If he might not be able to add the finishing touch, but an extra body in the box.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not just about having an extra body in the box, because the play, how much percent of the game is played in the box? You've got all the other aspects of the game where actually he has to be a player in the midfield. First and foremost, he's a player in that midfield who has to get involved in the building up play of combinations of.
Yeah, I'm not going to stick up for his first half.
Bro, Willock, as a number 10, you got to be able to pass and score goals. Willock
he's not a horrendous passer.
He's not great at passing.
He's a decent passer.
No, Willock
is not a great. Yeah, he's not an Ozil level passer, but he's horrendous at passing.
He's average. Willock is an average passer, and even when he does come to make the pass, he makes it about 10 seconds too late, and that's not good enough. I'm sorry, that's not good enough.
I'm not sticking up for Willock. Yesterday, but I think other players have been given much more opportunities than he has. Like you were maybe one that called for Nelson to play. I'm not sure that Nelson showed that he should be deserving of a starting lineup. And if we want to move to a 4-3-3, especially before the January transfer window, if we make a signing and we want to move to that 4-3-3, we have to play it a few times. We can't just jump into it. We have to mould into it.
Of course.
And at the moment, if we're going to be putting Xhaka on the bench because of fitness and stuff like that, then maybe the only option we have is putting Willock there.
No, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have played Willock. I'm saying
he didn't take.
I'm saying going forward, when fans talk about Arteta and this and that, and we talk about our creative issues, and then you got fans saying he's not even playing Willock. Willock doesn't even get a chance. Yeah, but Willock doesn't get a chance for a reason. There's a reason that Willock doesn't get a chance. Arteta sees these players week in, week out in training, bruv.
Are we going to move on and keep that same energy with Pepe? We're all desperate for Pepe to play. We're all calling, saying, Arteta, you're not making.
All right, first,
playing
okay,
Pepe,
let's just say, in my opinion, don't know what other people think. In my opinion, I don't think Pepe had too bad of a first half.
But we didn't do anything. He at least didn't do anything.
Okay, but there was a bit of actions that he was making that just seemed like he had something about him yesterday. First half.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Yeah, but what I mean is there was more than what others were doing yesterday in the first half from attacking perspective.
I don't know. I think William looked at least as decent as him, linking up the play.
I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. William, the thing with Pepe is he gives us that unpredictability. I'm not saying to you that he's the finished article.
I think even Pepe doesn't know what he's going to do sometimes when he gets the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, no, I don't think he knows what he's going to do.
I'm saying that he gives you an unpredictability that's different to players like when you have Willian there, or when you have Lacazette up front, you play Aubameyang out wide. You got Pepe has a bit of something about him, and the thing with Pepe, for me, isn't necessarily he's our best player, let's play him. My point is give him a run of games and let's see what he does. If he doesn't do anything, because Willian is not doing better than him. When we beat Fulham 3-0 and William had a banging game, we all unanimously said we just smashed Fulham. Really and truly, Pepe doesn't come into this team because Willian was doing well. But Willian's not doing well. Aubameyang's not doing well out wide. And Lacazette's not doing well up front. Pepe scored a couple of goals in Europa. Came on against Sheffield United, scored a dirty goal. Yeah, give him a chance.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Wajdi, maybe like what you said about Arteta seeing things in training, like Willock maybe not murking enough in training, so he's not starting in the league. Maybe he saw things about Pepe in training as well, about ill discipline and not being serious.
Yeah,
Pepe didn't look like he's serious. You said at one point as well, he took one player on and then he took the same player on again. Like for me, it just reminded me of Alexis Sanchez in his final few days of his Arsenal career, just twisting and turning. But from Pepe, he just doesn't look serious at the moment. Even when he got sent off, and he was just like look around like that. He didn't. There was no fire. There's no fire there. Yeah, a few points in the game he showed fire. He tried to take players on. He was snapping into a few tackles, but it's not enough for me. Somebody who needs to come on, £72 million player, and firm yourself in the starting lineup. It didn't seem serious. Maybe Arteta's seeing things in training as well, like the Ozil thing.
Yeah, fair enough. But what our team needs, Haidar, is a little bit of flair, a bit of kind of like unpredictability, a bit of like making something happen out of nothing.
Yeah.
And really and truly, Pepe's the only player in our team that's able to do that. And even then, if we're winning and we're doing well and blah blah, then fair enough. I'm not in love with Pepe. It's not Pepe that's kind of like, no, he has to play regardless of the situation. Yeah. If our team is doing well, no problem, drop him.
At the moment, for me, after these three games, Reece Nelson has to get chances.
Reece Nelson has to get chances. But look, when we talk about Pepe, the problem with Pepe is that, and even his dad said it, he's not serious about football. He's not taking it seriously.
That's the issue.
He needs to understand that he's playing at a top level team. Like, you're not playing at Lille anymore, where you can play like 3, 4, 5 bad games, but you're still their best player and you won't get dropped. Here you'll get dropped. You can't. And what pisses me off here is Pepe will go on holiday, or he'll go on the internationals, and he'll start saying, "Oh, I don't want to play on the bench. Oh, this and that." Okay, so when you get your chance taken,
that's exactly
at what point is Pep? At what point this season has Pepe taken his chance? When he played against Man City, he didn't take his chance. When he played against Leeds yesterday, he didn't take his chance. So at some stage, you got to start taking your chances. You can't throw always the blame on the manager. The manager can only go as that manager can only play you as good as you're only as good as your last performance. Yeah, and in the manager's eyes, Pepe hasn't been good enough. Even when we talk about Europa, when we talk about Europa, he scored a couple of good goals and he's done a couple of good things. But let's use our eye test.
No,
has Pepe been good enough in these games?
No, he hasn't.
He loses the ball reckless, absolutely reckless. And I'm not saying that he's a shit player, by the way. Whether he's going to make it at Arsenal, I don't know. He might go on and do bits at Arsenal. He might leave and do well somewhere else. But I'm talking currently.
Is it time to cut our losses?
I'll still give him until the end of the season, because we can't get rid of him now unless you're going to bring in another winger, which I can't see us doing in January.
Now he's right off basically for December. I can't see him coming back even after his ban. I can't see him coming back for a few games.
Yeah.
And then we move into January, and on the back of him being dropped and being sent off, I don't think anyone's going to buy him in January. So it's going to be.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to give it until the summer. Hopefully, I'm praying that there's some sort of wake up call to him, which says, actually, you need to be more serious, mate. You can't just keep him moving like a child, acting petulantly. The thing that he did yesterday was just pure selfishness. It was just pure selfishness.
You don't know. We think the guy like a minute before.
Bro, you don't know. Okay, so you're a footballer, and you know VAR is in in the league now, You don't know that if I go up to this Brer right now and I headbutt him in his head, or at least I bring my head close to him, it wasn't, to be honest.
Bro, obviously the guy was a Hollywood actor,
but he was going to make a meal out of it, You don't know, if you put your head close to him like that, he's not, you're not going to get 100% going to get sent off. But you didn't give a shit. That's the problem that I have with Pepe. It's very kind of like it's self-centered. Oh, arm being dropped, arm on the bench. You're on the bench for a reason, mate. You're not on the bench for no reason.
Yeah.
You're on the bench for a reason.
But Alioski made a meal out of it, yeah? But then what pisses me off further, and I didn't see this at the time, Alioski made a meal out of that, and he took out Saka. Was it he fouled Saka?
Yeah, fouled Saka, yeah.
He
didn't foul Saka. It was a challenge, and he was turning, and then his stud went into it. Yeah.
And then Xhaka at the end of the game. So Tierney for me is the only one who I think Tierney has to be captain. To be honest, I think Tierney now is proving week in week out he has the spirit. Even yesterday when we went down to 10 men, he was up and down, up and down. I think he has to be captain. But putting that to the side, he seemed to be pissed off by something that Alioski did. And then Xhaka's pushing away Tierney and hugging Alioski. What the hell? I felt like he was a Leeds player. Was he a Leeds player yesterday?
Bruv,
this guy's meant to be our old captain, and he's like hugging Alioski and saying, "Don't worry, I'll protect you from this clown Tierney." Basically,
by the way,
from this thug Tierney, he's saying, "Move away," and he's hugging Alioski.
Bro,
Just
to highlight as well, yeah, this is a guy who we say he's one of our main leaders, Xhaka.
No, he's
one of our main leaders.
He's just a big mouth. That's it.
Bro,
you're not a leader if you just can shout all game. That's not a leader.
Exactly. Or coming out after the game and going, "Oh, we tried. We're gonna go again." Yeah, I expect you to go again, mate. I expect you to try as well, and I expect you not to concede, and I expect you to play well. That's not anything that you've done. Oh wow,
that's like your job. Well. That's your job description, bro.
That's your job, bro.
That's not something.
Bro, for me, yeah. Xhaka epitomizes everything that is wrong with this club at the moment. Everything that's wrong with our squad at the moment, yeah, Xhaka epitomizes. Xhaka will have 10 good games, yeah, and then one bad game, and that's it. And then it's finished. And then he's just done. He doesn't have that bottle. He doesn't have that mentality of kind of like, I'm a diehard, I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm an Arsenal player, I'm a diehard Arsenal player. Okay, you've just drawn 0-0 away at Leeds. We're in bad form. We've won 1 game in 5. We haven't scored in I don't know how many hours, yeah? The fans are obvious. If you have any connection with the fans, yeah, you know that the fans are obviously going to be pissed, yeah? And the brother that you're hugging is the guy that got your player sent off, which made you not able to win the game, yeah? And you go around afterwards hugging, smiling, pushing your player away. What is that? What is that? It just epitomizes these players, bruv. It epitomizes Xhaka, Kolasinac, Holding, even Maitland-Niles. Do you remember when he got sent off against Leicester City? Poor James, and he's hugging him and all of this kind of shit. Lacazette, Pepe, bruv. Who else? I wouldn't say Ceballos, but even players like El Neni, Mustafi, all of these players, bruv, they are bottle job mentalities, bruv. And you know how many players I've just named? I've named you 10 players, bruv. 10 players, you can register 25 players. I've named you almost half of the squad.
Bro, you know it's half an issue.
It's madness,
You know it's half an issue if Xhaka grabbed Tierney and walked away with him. Didn't want to cause the hype.
Exactly.
Walked away with him.
Exactly.
Tierney, calm down.
Exactly.
Man's hugging Alioski and just telling Tierney to piss off, basically.
It's obvious why Tierney's pissed.
You're not a leader if you're just a big mouth. If you're just loud. If you go into the dressing room and you can hype. You're on the pitch, you can hype. Because if you're a leader, if you know anything about, like you said, the connection with the fans, you don't, as you're coming off and they're booing you, start putting your middle finger up at the fans. That's not a leader. That's just short temper.
Exactly.
I'm not You're not going to be surprised and be like, oh, this guy is a proper leader if he goes into the dressing room and just starts swearing willy-nilly at his players. It's not a leader. But then at the same time, we have somebody else. So Xhaka is a bit of a hype, but we have somebody else who's maybe a bit too timid, maybe a bit too quiet in Aubameyang. Aubameyang also needs to know connection with the fans. It's no secret that a lot of Arsenal fans have problems with AFTV or have problems with troops. And then you're bestie with troops. I don't have an issue with him being friends with some fans, but you can't maybe be that close to somebody who's such a divisive figure. And on the pitch, does he seem like the type of person who, when things are going wrong, he's gonna lift your moods, lift your spirits? I don't think he is, bro.
Bro,
and I think the captaincy is weighing heavy on him.
Bro, Aubameyang, I mean, it's difficult to say that because he won us the FA Cup as the captain. The problem is Aubameyang is not separate from this squad. Or Aubameyang isn't separate from this team. Aubameyang is reflecting what the team is at the moment. And our team is toothless in attack. It's not working hard enough. It looks just low on confidence. And Aubameyang is looking all of them at the moment. Aubameyang is the type of player that you need. I agree with you in aspects that kind of like, he's not the type kind of guy that when he's going to rally up his troops and all of that kind of thing. But Aubameyang is the type of guy that will lead by example on the pitch in terms of work ethic. He'll get you goals. He's kind of like the icon in the team where he's pulled us out of bad situations. So Aubameyang at the moment, yeah, the thing is with Aubameyang, I'll cut him some slack just because he scores so many goals, or he has, and at the moment he's in a team that's just not playing very well at the moment, and I don't expect that because he doesn't have he's not a Messi type of player that kind of like can make things happen out of nothing. He's reliant a lot on the team being able to support him to be able to score goals. But for me, Aubameyang is the least of our problems. When I was talking to you, Haidar, last week, yeah, I was telling you about, we were discussing Arteta and stuff like that. This game just highlighted to me exactly why this season is almost a write-off to me. Because our squad, bruv, is...
If we don't sign anyone in January,
if we don't sign anyone in January, we're not getting top 10. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. I'm going to
clip that out. You're going to go viral.
But, bruv, what I mean by that is our squad is shite, bro.
Yeah, it's shite.
Okay, Xhaka needs to go. Let's be honest. Xhaka needs to go. Kolasinac
is Xhaka not good enough? Because we're talking squad. You can't have 25.
No, Xhaka's not good enough, bro.
Not even on the squad?
Xhaka's not good enough. For me, Xhaka's not good enough at all. Xhaka's mentality, his connection with the fans, his like lack of mobility, all of this kind of things, yeah. For me, Xhaka, you know what? Honestly, wallah, if Xhaka was just performing as he is, but he had the correct mentality after a game, he doesn't go and start hugging on this and that, and
because Xhaka wasn't our worst player today.
Bro, surely you've got as a professional footballer, you've got to be able to understand, use your brain to know when is the right timing. Okay, you want to hug Alioski, whatever his name is, do it behind the scenes. Do it in the changing room, bruv. Why do you have to do it on the pitch in the middle of all the cameras with the guy that just got your player sent off? Why? Why would you do that? That's Xhaka. And you talk about players like... Mustafi's holding this club ransom, you know. Mustafi is selling...
World Cup winner, bro.
Mustafi is telling our club, I don't want to sign a new contract. I want to leave for free at the end of the season. Give me my 100k a week. That's what Mustafi is doing now. So it shows you where we are as a club. We've got a 25-man squad. Yeah. I would remove... forget removing. It's easier to talk about who you'd keep. I'd keep Tierney, Leno, Gabriel, Aubameyang, Martinelli, and Partey, and Xhaka. And the rest, I could not give a shit about. That's
18 man.
That's 7 players,
18
bro.
18 man gone.
18 man gone, bruv. So, when we talk about Arteta, what he's doing and our results, and blah, it's not a surprise. It is not a surprise.
Although, if you think about
the situation that we're in right now.
Think about it yesterday. We had probably the best chance of the game, Saka, because it was the clearest one-on-one. Like Leeds had a lot of chances, but that Saka chance was the clearest one-on-one. And you reckon we should have had a penalty? I don't think enough of it has been made of this in the media. Although looking back at it, at the time I was hot-headed. I was like, what the hell? I was fuming. I was calling match fixing. I was calling all sorts. Looking back at it, maybe would it have been harsh?
Apparently, it's if it hits another body part before it hits the hand, then it's not a handball. But the argument for me is okay, which is fair enough. But that shot was going on target. Yeah. If it's just going any which way, then all right. But that shot was going on target. But
I just don't think there's enough
Haidar,
consistency in the league. Man United are getting penalties for next to nothing. You see the report today that Dermot Gallagher, or whatever his name is, the one of the highest referees, about the West Brom Man United penalty. He goes, no, I don't think it was a penalty. About West Brom's penalty. I think the guy got fouled on the ball and he got enough on the ball to there wasn't enough contact for it to be a penalty.
Yeah, but that's BS, bro. That is bullshit, because that's literally you're just trying to protect your colleague.
Yeah, because somebody goes, why didn't Arteta talk about the penalty decision enough after the game? Should have highlighted it. And I was just thinking after that, well, what's the point? What's the point?
Exactly.
He's going to cause hype, and then the referees are going to come out and say, no, we're all right.
Yeah, but the thing for me, when I talk about yesterday's penalty, is the reason I get pissed about it is because it's just one of many decisions that have gone against us. Gabriel against Man City. You've got Lacazette against Leicester. You've got the Mane elbow against Tierney against Liverpool. Yeah. You know what pisses me off, bro? Is that they don't even look at them.
Yeah.
They don't even look at them. It's just kind of like, oh no. Yesterday the referee goes.
Yeah. It's like a half a second thing.
But why? You got to look at these things. Okay, you might end up deciding no penalty. You might end up deciding penalty. But at least look at it, bro.
Yeah.
At least, like for example, the Gabriel one that wasn't even looked at.
Walker's
foot was like up here, and he doesn't even look at it. The Lacazette goal, I don't understand for the life of. So you're going to look at the Lacazette goal. Lacazette's goal was easily it was a goal. Yeah, they spent 5 minutes looking at it, but yesterday's one with the handball, you don't even spend 5 seconds looking at it. So where's the consistency there? Yeah. But what I would say, is. When we talk about kind of like we created the best chances and even defensively, I don't feel like, okay, they hit the post, they hit the crossbar with a couple of long range mad efforts. You can't stop every single effort.
No, I get that. Yeah.
Rodrigo had a couple of good efforts and stuff. Bamford had a good header across on the post, and that Rafinha guy had a good shot on the post, which is expected when you're down to 10 men, high intense football. We didn't have the ball in the first half, so we were obviously tired after the international break as well and stuff like that. But what I would say, and this is where you give props to Arteta, is the reason that we were able to stay in that game and create the chances that we did was because firstly, he made the correct subs, and secondly, he's obviously drilled our team to be able to play very well on the counter-attack.
And those sort of games a couple of years ago, we lose. Those sort of games we guaranteed lose. And we saw under Emery when we came 5th, it was by a point. So every point in this league counts, especially when it's this close, especially when it's this tight.
Exactly, yeah.
Going back to the Aubameyang thing as number 9, we've seen Lacazette against Tottenham for the last few years. He seems to do really well against Tottenham. He scores goals, he assists, he plays well. Do you go back for that game just because we have a lack of squad depth and experience against Tottenham? Lacazette knows what it means to play Tottenham. Do you go back to playing Lacazette and Aubameyang out wide for that game? Bearing in mind, Pepe sent off, Saka, we don't know how long he's going to be out for.
I think he probably do, just because from an experience perspective, I don't know, do you throw Nelson in there?
Probably
do you throw Nelson in there at that age? No, he hasn't really played a string of games. Yeah. Now you're going to throw him in there.
And Willian,
Pepe's out. Willian's got an injury.
Muscular injury,
so,
apparently.
Yeah,
so
exactly. So, exactly. So, probably, you do probably recall Lacazette and you put him up there and hope to God that he does something. But, look at the injuries that we've got.
Yeah, it's shocking. And we've got a shit squad anyway.
The thing, but that's what I'm saying. So, you've got Willian, who's shit anyway, injured. You've got Pepe, red card, who hasn't set the world on fire. He's a good prospect. He's got good potential, but he hasn't showed it at all at Arsenal, or he has showed it in little spells. You've got, and then now you've got Saka injured. Saka's the only decent,
we've got Martinelli back at this.
Who have you got after that, bruv? As a squad,
Smith Rowe get a chance.
So Smith Rowe. So is Smith Rowe now ready to play week in, week out football? He's not. He's not ready for that. He hasn't even played in Europa League, Smith Rowe. Now we want to throw him in the Premier League against Spurs. This goes back to the core of the problem that we have. We have such shit players at the team, bro. We have so much deadwood. So much deadwood.
Wajdi, I remember halfway through the summer, Arteta's title was changed from coach to manager, innit? That was after getting rid of Sinelli. That was to involve him more in transfers because they now have to trust in him and stuff like that. So if he's seeing this squad, surely he's seeing what we're seeing. Can't trust half of them.
Yeah.
Where were some of the changes?
What changes?
Signing some more players who can at least be squad players. At least be squad players.
But Haidar, this is the problem that you have, is that firstly, Arteta is restricted by a budget that he's given. He's not just going to go out and say, yeah, I want this player, and that means he's going to come. We obviously wanted Aouar. We weren't able to get him because of finances and selling and blah, blah. But the thing is, and I'm so happy that Arteta didn't do this in the summer, actually. What you're saying, I don't think is the right way to do it. I don't think we should go out and just go and buy a player for the hell of buying him for the hell of for a squad player. Because we're not in that luxury. Every single penny counts at the moment for Arsenal. We need to go and make sure that we spend that money correctly. And that's why I think that's why Arteta didn't go and say, all right, I couldn't get Aouar. Let me just go and get any Tom, Dick or Harry. Or like, for example, people saying, oh, we couldn't get Aouar. Where's the plan B? Why didn't you go for Buendia? Because he wants to get Aouar. That's why. Because he wants to get his first choice. And that's not an impossibility. So you have to wait. Play the waiting game, and hopefully it'll work out. But this is just when we talk about the squad and we talk about like yesterday's game. A lot of people will bash Arteta, for example, or bash. Yesterday's game was on the players. Or what was on the players?
Yesterday he picked players that we were saying he should be picking.
Exactly.
They showed why he's not been picking.
Exactly.
Yesterday's game was on the players.
I
think this might be against the grain, but I think if Pepe doesn't get sent off, maybe we go on to win that game.
I agree. Leeds, bro, Leeds, yeah. High
the more they go forward,
action football, yeah. These lot will last for 60, 70 minutes. Yeah. Last 20 minutes, if you're still in the game, then that's when you press them and you proper squeeze them, and they're knackered. You start passing the ball around.
We've seen Leeds lose games where they're playing against a team that's a bit more defensive, a bit more in their shape. And we've seen that we can do that really, really well in the FA Cup at the back end of last year. And we saw, even with 10 men, we produced two good chances. Babia with the penalty and Xhaka with the one-on-one with the keeper. I think we got on to win that game in the last 20 minutes.
I agree.
So I'm not blaming Arteta for yesterday. And maybe my eyes have been opened up to the fact that his squad at the moment is shocking.
It's terrible, bro.
But he is still making some errors, but he's not going to be perfect.
What you can say, and this is something that you got to give him credit for, because you can't cuss him if he does and cuss him if he doesn't. Before the game, everyone was saying, oh, Arteta's too stubborn. He's not going to change it. He's like Wenger stubbornness, this and that. Yeah. No, man came out and changed it. Man saw that it didn't work, so he came out and changed it. And that's what we wanted as a club. Ultimately, if he's restricted by the fact that these players are bottle job players and they're not good enough, then that's unfortunate. Yeah. But you've had Wenger, Emery, Ljungberg, and now Arteta with the core of this group, and you can get something out of them for 3-4 months, and then they just die, bruv. And it's exact same has happened again. And I'm praying, and I can't wait for the end of this season to get rid of half of these guys, because they just, bro. Do you feel like these guys, yeah, the majority of them, have any kind of like relation to what Arsenal is? No,
not at all.
And Arteta doesn't as well.
Yeah, they're all either playing for a contract, or they're playing to play off the remainder of their contract. Or they just none of the squad proper cares about playing for Arsenal. Bellerin maybe and Tierney are probably the only ones. Gabriel's into a new team, and I'm rating him highly, but it's because it's a new team. He's trying his hardest, and he's jumped up a level. Bellerin, I've got to be honest, I was impressed with him yesterday. At the beginning, he was crap, but then towards the back end of the game, I was thinking, you know what, he's holding his own. They're not proper attacking down his end, and that run and burst and the through ball for Saka, like that, give him some props for that. He did well there.
Bellerin, I agree. Bellerin,
he's not going to be in a league-winning team. I don't even think he's going to push us to top 4. But at the moment, he's the least of our.
Yeah, but did you see what he said yesterday?
What did he say
about how I'm not a player that likes drawing.
Yeah.
But we have to realise that they're a very good team, and it's difficult when you're on the pitch and this and that.
That mentality stinks.
Honestly,
we're Arsenal, man. What's going on, bro?
Honestly,
we're falling.
The thing is, I don't even want to go on about this, like the arrogance of we're Arsenal, even though we are. And that's
we
true.
should be beating Leeds. We should be disappointed.
These men conceded 4 against Crystal Palace. They conceded 4 against Leicester at home. Why are you suddenly moving like Leeds are prime Barcelona? Yeah. Like, this is what pisses me off about these players, bruv. Bellerin, I don't mind Bellerin, and he had okay game yesterday, especially in the second half. But Bellerin is another one of these players, that is bottle job mentality. What is this? They're a difficult team and blah. It's Leeds, bruv. They're 15th in the league. They've lost 4 games, bro.
They're probably going to finish 15th in the league. Exactly. They're going to finish somewhere down there.
Where everyone's getting hyped. Oh, Leeds, because they scored 3 against
Blackpool.
They lost the game, bro. They lost the game against Liverpool. They conceded 4 against Liverpool. They conceded 4 against Crystal Palace. They conceded 4 against Leicester. That's 12 goals in the space of 3 games, bro. Well, just because they drew against Man City at home, suddenly, Leicester. No, we should be beating Leicester. But we don't beat Leicester because we've got mentalities like Bellerin. Probably came into the game thinking, they play high intense football, you know. Oh, shit. And we've got a red card
Leicester,
now.
you meant Leeds. But
Sorry, Leeds.
Leicester as well.
And Leeds, and Leicester. But, we came into the game, Leeds, this and that. That's the kind of mentality that players like Bellerin have got. I bet Xhaka came in with the mentality as well.
They came into the game thinking, shit, this team is banging. We need to try as hard as we can to win this game.
Exactly. I bet Holding came in with that mentality. Holding Xhaka, Bellerin, and Willian as well.
Holding did decent yesterday. Let's not hate too much.
But
we're talking about a lot of our players. Should we move on to the ratings? Because you're just listed off players. Let's move on to the ratings.
Let's do it.
All right, should we go from goalkeeper to the end, or should we start with the manager?
So let's start with Leno.
Okay.
What do you think Leno got?
Leno, I would give him yesterday a 8. Yeah. Leno did a couple of really good saves. The others came off the post and came off the crossbar. And the only reason I'd give him an 8 and not a bit higher than that is there was a couple of times in the first half I was getting really frustrated with his distribution. Even the second half, even when we went down to 10 men, he was whacking the ball out of play all the time, and the ball was just coming back out.
Yeah.
So this is why yesterday I finally said to you as well, we made the right decision keeping Leno over Martinez, because there's some things like reflex saves and stuff like that it just comes with you. It is instilled in you. Yeah. And Leno showed yesterday with his saves, he's a top class goalkeeper and stuff like that, but his distribution needs to improve, needs to practice on that. Yesterday, a few times he wanted to roll the ball out on the counter.
Frustrating.
You know he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. And
just roll the ball out, bro.
3 or 4 times he did it. So for me, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I think 8, maybe even 9 out of 10. To be honest, he made a couple of 6 saves. He came and claimed a couple of things.
The one where Gabriel hit it with his balls to Bamford, and Bamford shot and he flicked it out.
The thing is with Leno, he will do it and he'll do an amazing job. But when I see him being so that doesn't know what to do when he gets the ball, it pisses me off.
Even at one point, he came to punch the ball and he slapped it to the edge of the box.
But I mean, that happens sometimes with keepers. I would give him probably a 9 or 8, 9. Yeah.
What are you saying, bro? 8 or 9?
I would give him.
Are we doing 0.5s or no?
Nah, forget that. 8. Yeah.
8 out of 10. All right, so we're agreed, right?
Yeah.
All right. Right back. Bellerin.
First half he was poor, and I felt like if they're going to score, it's going to come down his side. Second half, when we went down to 10 men, the thing is with Bellerin, if he goes to when Saka came on, we basically played 5 at the back.
Yeah.
Bellerin's not actually bad at five at the back because he has Holding to help him
back,
as a right centre back. So Bellerin going forward is very good. I really like him, and he played that sick pass to Saka. So with that, I'll probably give him 5 out of 10. I think in the first half, there was a couple of opportunities where he could have played Pepe through, and the pass kept him going sideways. I don't know why.
He went back to the old.
He
used to do that a lot. And he's back to doing that.
He doesn't link up at all. Very poor link up. With
problem is, I think when we're in a 4, he maybe thinks he's maybe too worried about going forward. He wants to keep his defensive position, so he plays sideways. When we're playing in a 5, he's playing it forward.
Yeah,
I would give him a 6 because I don't think he's as bad as you're saying in the first half. There was 1 or 2 opportunities when they played the ball in behind him, and we would be like, "Oh, Bellerin, you're not even looking." But then on the replay, the chance went on and they didn't score, so it didn't go to VAR. But on the replay, you could see that the player that it was passed to was offside.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a case of he was holding the line. You don't know.
Yeah.
So and in the second half, he was decent, and it was basically the whole half went down to 10 men. So I'll give him a 6.
Okay.
I think it would be stupid to give higher ratings for like a lot of our players when we play shit. I would give it a 6.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to
Holding. Holding.
Let's go to Holding. Yeah.
Holding, go on.
I'm going to give... I mean, our defenders, even though they had chances, I don't feel like our centre-backs had much to do. Their chances came from, like, the wings and like, shots from Rodrigo, like you said, and from Rafinha. But I don't feel like our defenders had many challenges. But looking at the stats yesterday, Holding had quite a few interceptions and quite a few clearances.
Mm-hmm.
For that reason, and for the fact that we played a whole half with 10 men and we drew against a high-intense team who had the whole international break to get prepared for us, I'm going to give Holding a 7.
Yeah,
I think he was slightly better than Bellerin.
Yeah, I think 7 probably about right for Holding. He headed away a couple of crosses into the box.
Yeah.
He looked okay on the ball. Didn't really ever feel like he was going to make the mistake to lead to the goal. Assured performance, especially when we went down to 10 men. So I'll probably give him a 7.
Okay, move on to Gabriel.
Yep.
You go first.
Same. I'll give him a 7. Beast. A couple of... actually, I might give him a 6, you know.
I was about to stick it on you.
I might give him a 6 because a couple of headers away, good headers away. He made a couple of good late challenges in the box. But he kept on doing this thing yesterday where it just hits him in his balls.
Yeah.
Or it just hits him on his thigh and it's kind of like, bro, just clear the ball away. He might not have you can feel like he was a bit in 2 minds. Do I try controlling it or do I try clearing it? And
sometimes he underhits passes as well, randomly. Sometimes he plays the wrong pass.
But he's a beast.
He's an animal, and he's gonna. I'm not even gonna say he's gonna come good. He already, other than Van Dijk, he's not gonna be playing the whole league.
Yeah,
I think by the end of the year, Gabriel is gonna be recognised as one of the top 3 centre backs in the league.
Yeah. I agree.
But for yesterday's game, and it's a bit worrying now because against Aston Villa it wasn't great as well. But for yesterday's game, I'm gonna give him a 6. So I think we're agreed on that. So we're gonna move on to Tierney, left back.
Yeah, I'll give Tierney a 7. I would have given him an 8, but ultimately we didn't score any goals, so we didn't win the game. So it's difficult to say 8. But 7, I think he navigated himself out of tight situations when it was congested, like when they were attacking us heavily in the second half. I love his mentality. His mentality is the epitome. It's just exactly, I think, what we need as a club and what Arteta wants in his team. Yeah. He's disciplined. He just thinks about football. He puts everything on the line.
He's fiery, but he very rarely... Has he been sent off for us? He hasn't been sent off for us. And he very rarely even gets yellows.
Bro, Tierney is the type of guy that he's fiery and he knows when to be fiery. Yeah. It's not just like Guendouzi, headless chicken, or just always fiery. No, he knows when he needs to be fiery. And yesterday when he switched Alioski, whatever his name is, it was probably because he saw Xhaka with him. He was trying to probably tell Xhaka, what the fuck are you doing? You're hugging this brother. He just got our player sent off. I think that was trying to.
What he was trying to do. What happens behind closed doors in that situation?
Yeah, I would not mind if he slapped up Xhaka and gave him a couple of bloody noses, bro.
But yeah, so you're giving Tierney a 7. I'm going to give Tierney a 7 as well.
Okay.
I think when he was playing left back, he was really good defensively.
Yeah.
And when he was playing a left centre back, he was even better defensively because we were down to 10 men and they got fast players and the ball was ricocheting in the box a lot. It's very easy to accidentally clip one of their players and give away a penalty. He never looked worried. He never looked threatened by that. The only reason I'm going to give him a 7, not an 8, is because there was a couple of times when we were like attacking in the first half where his delivery could have been a bit better. He's come into the club with like sort of that. He's meant to be known for sort of good deliveries into the box, and he has, to be fair, in the last couple of weeks shown good deliveries into the box. But yesterday I don't feel like his delivery was great. So 7 out of 10. Okay. Moving on to our 2. So we played 4-2. Ceballos first. Let's go for Ceballos. I'm gonna give Ceballos a 6. I don't think he was. So are we saying 5 is average or 6 is average?
No, let's say 6 is average.
6 is average. So I'm going to give Ceballos a 6 average performance. I don't think he was crap. I don't think he was amazing. He showed a lot of heart, a lot of effort and sort of steely character, but I don't feel like there was enough going forward. Maybe if he was sort of the one that's the deep lying playmaker, I don't feel like there was enough link-up play. Especially when we went down to 10 men, we didn't seem to be able to keep the ball at all. We couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together. But so I'm gonna give him.
For me, I'd give him a 6 as well. The problem for me with Ceballos was in the first half, especially, was that he was just giving the ball away quite recklessly.
Trying too hard, a bit too hard.
Playing like these passes that just go out of play and stuff like that. But like you said, I like the fact that he puts himself out there. He's got thing about Ceballos. He's got personality. He shows himself.
Definitely. He's got that Spanish.
He recovered quite a few balls as well. Throws himself into the tackle. Even if he loses the ball, he tried recovering it straight away. In the dying minutes, he was doing some things where he would keep the ball well and draw a foul and stuff like that. So I don't know, 7. Nah, 6.
You're giving a lot of compliments, isn't it?
But bro, at the end of the day, we were 10 men and we kept a clean sheet. So there's got to be we didn't win the game, but there's got to be some positives there.
So you're sticking with 6?
Yeah, 6.
Alright.
Xhaka?
We're talking, by the way, about the 90 minutes, yeah? Xhaka was a prick afterwards, so don't give him ratings and that, but we're talking about the 90 minutes.
No, but bruv, when I talk about, you talk about the 90 minutes, it's a mentality issue, isn't it? It's a mentality issue, and that's throughout the 90 minutes. When we talk, Xhaka, thing is, I can't forget what he did. I give him a 4.
But don't let I'll give him a 4, bro. He wasn't that crap.
Bruv,
4.
I give him a 4.
Bro, he wasn't that bad. Come on, we're talking about the 90 minutes. His ability to keep the ball, pass the ball, defend situations. We kept the clean sheet. He wasn't that terrible.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna give him a 4, and I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Firstly, his mentality is all wrong, and you have to take that into account for me.
But it didn't show on the pitch, though.
It did show on the pitch.
We didn't do anything.
He's too sideways. Yesterday, he was too sideways either. Yesterday, in the middle of the pitch, we could not keep the ball. We could not keep the ball at all. There was no forward passes. There was no kind of like breaking the lines. There was nothing. And Xhaka is part of that. Yeah, Xhaka will always be okay at dropping deep, defending your box, last-ditch tackles, these kind of things. Xhaka will do okay at that. But we're talking about the wider aspect of it. Okay, 45 minutes we were playing with 10 men, but 45 minutes we were playing with 11 men, and we got absolutely run over in the first half.
Yeah, but that applies to Ceballos as well. Ceballos was part of that.
I know. I'm giving. But the thing is, Haidar, Ceballos yesterday, further up the pitch, he had a bit of. He would win the ball, try taking someone on, taking a shot. He would be in the corner, he was trying to do something. Xhaka yesterday is very passive. Yeah, he would defend his ball.
Players though.
Yeah, but bro.
Yeah, but Xhaka is not going to be
at least do what you're good at. You're good at passing, playing forward passes. Play forward passes. Try playing something. He just wasn't. I felt like he was playing too safe yesterday.
To be fair, I'm not. I don't know why I'm hyping out your 4. I'm not going to give him much more. I'm going to give Xhaka a 5. Because if I'm giving Ceballos a 6, I think Ceballos was the better of the two. Yeah. So I'm going to give Xhaka a 5.
Okay. Well, look,
Oh no, this is gonna hurt because
You love Willock, bro.
I was hyped in the first episode, and oh no. To be fair, if I gave Xhaka a 5, I'm gonna give Willock a 5 as well.
You're giving Willock a 5?
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those agendas, isn't it?
No, that's just
I'll
you like Willock.
I'll explain it. I think the effort was there for parts of the game, not all of the game, but I think maybe he tried too hard, and that's why I wouldn't give him a starting lineup for the next few games because he seems to be trying too hard, but I felt like he was trying to make things happen. We're crying out for a player who tries to make things happen because we've got too many of the same player who are just going to pass it to the side. He was trying to go forward. It wasn't working, and he was losing the ball, and maybe he's not good enough, so I wouldn't start him. But because of that effort, I would give him maybe a 5. You're about to give him a 2 or something, isn't it?
I'm gonna give Willock a 3.
So he was worse than Xhaka, you think?
Yeah, I think he was worse than Xhaka on the pitch. Bruv, Willock, I'm sorry. This is like, I'm not even trying to be controversial, but Willock is just not good enough. He's not good enough. You're playing him in a number 10 role. A number 10 role, yeah? Firstly, people say, oh, he's like Aaron Ramsey. He's nothing like Aaron Ramsey. Well, just because he scores a couple of goals in the Europa League. Yeah, his style of player in terms of a goal-scoring midfielder is similar to Aaron Ramsey. But Aaron Ramsey was much better technically than Willock. It's not even comparable.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Ramsey was much better technically. Willock, if you're going to play him in the number 10, firstly, he has to be good technically. Secondly, he has to make the right decision.
Yeah, but how old is
Willock? Doesn't do either.
But how old is Willock?
21?
21? Yeah, so he's still got years.
He's young, he's young, but you're able to tell a player's quality from the age of 18. Like, Saka is 19 years old. Are they even comparable? Probably not.
No, but Saka's beyond his years though. We're talking about Saka as somebody who's got 10
Willock,
best young players.
But Willock, the thing with Willock is you might be able to teach some things, but you can't teach technical ability at this age. At Willock's age, he should be technically sound. Willock isn't technically sound. Willock isn't. No, I don't think so. He might be able to. I don't know if he can teach decision making later on, but at the moment he's playing a number 10 and he can't. He's not technically good enough, and he can't pass. And he's not got the right decision making.
Try and search him in YouTube and see what comes up.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'll give him a 3. He didn't influence the game enough. He wasn't taking up the correct positions. His
think is a bit harsh. 3 is a bit
terrible.
harsh, but yeah.
Nah, bro. At the end of the day, he came for the 50th minute.
Yeah, because we went down to 10 men. We had to change the formation.
Yeah,
he had to come off.
No, okay, but like if he was playing well enough, he would have stayed on.
So Pepe,
I'll give Pepe yesterday a 1. In fact, I might even give him a 0.
Didn't you say the first half he was decent?
Bro, he was good in the first half, but you can't ignore the fact that he threw away 3 points for us. His stupidity and his selfishness threw away 3 points. That's
fair, I don't even want to rate Pepe, bro. I don't even want to rate him.
You don't even want to rate him.
I don't even want to rate him, bro. It's just...
But honestly, would you give him higher than a 1? If you had to rate him?
No, because I think he was crap first half as well.
The thing is, though, this links back to Willock. Is yesterday, when we want to judge Pepe, you got to judge... and I'm not saying to you he will be any better. He might still be shit. I don't know, he could be. But you got to judge Pepe with a couple of better players. Like,
that's true.
Yesterday, Pepe was getting the ball on the right wing, and he would have 2 players on him. And at one stage, I was screaming at the TV because Willock just always wants to make runs. Yeah. You have to have a number 10 there. So if your winger is here, and there's 2 players here, okay, let me link up with the number 10. Play a couple of 1-2s. Give the ball to number 10. The number 10. Make the run as the winger. Maybe he can find you closer to goal. Instead, Pepe has to try taking everyone on, losing the ball, getting frustrated, and that's why. Okay, Pepe might not be good enough, but give him a real number 10, man. Yeah. Give him a number 10 that can play a little bit better. Last season, especially when Arteta came in, and Pepe was playing closer to Ozil, He looked good. He looked good last season with Ozil. For whatever it may be, footballing reasons, politics, I don't actually give a shit about Ozil, but he's not in the squad anymore, whatever. But going forward, maybe if we get a Szoboszlai in January, we'll see what Pepe does with. So
you stick with a 1, yeah?
I'll give him a 1, yeah, on yesterday's
I'm gonna agree with 1.
Okay.
Move on to Willian. Bearing in mind that Willian came off for Arteta was a muscular injury, not for.
What would you give Willian?
I'd give Willian. Are we judging him just on the half he played?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Willian a 5. Actually, I'm gonna give Willian a 6. I'm gonna give Willian a 6 for the half he played, because I felt like he was quite assured on the ball. And I felt like he worked quite hard going the other way. He did a few challenges and stuff like that. So I'm going to give him a 6.
I'll give Willian a 3.
Fucking hell.
To be honest, to be honest,
you're half in it because he played a half, bruv.
No, but bruv, really and truly, what did we do in the first half? We got absolutely smashed in the first half. Our attacking thing was diabolical in the first half, and he's one of the attacking players. And on top of that, I still can't get over it, bro. Why does Willian look out of breath after 5 minutes? Why?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, he did a couple of good things yesterday in terms of tracking back and stuff like that. Yeah, trust me, bro. I don't know what he ate in Dubai, you know, because all I saw him was Mr. Salty guy, so he must have smashed out some bare steaks, bro. But all I'm saying is, yesterday Willian did a couple of things tracking back and stuff, but your primary job is being able to do something in attack, and he's just toothless at the moment. He's just toothless. So I'll give him a 3.
Good enough. Okay, Aubameyang. I don't want to hear no high figures, bro.
4. I'll give Aubameyang a 4. A couple of good movements. Got into some good positions. Like he hit the ball or 1 shot over the bar. He got, in my opinion, should have got a penalty.
Keeper made a save from
one of his shots. I still think he needs to be working a little bit harder, but at the same time, he had some mad travel from Gabon, from like sleeping in the airport and all that kind of stuff. So maybe he's like a bit travel sick. What's the word? When you come back from travel and stuff.
I don't even know what the word is.
Yeah, whatever it is, but he's probably tired from like travel and stuff. So yeah, I'll give him a 4.
I'll probably give him a 5.
Oh yeah.
Probably give him a 5 because looking back at it, the chances like you just mentioned, quite a few. Like he got some space in the box.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give him a 5. I don't think he set the world on fire, but yeah, 5.
Nelson.
I feel sorry for Nelson. I do feel sorry for Nelson because his first opportunity proper to do something, and he had to do it under 10 men. But for a guy who's known to be a dribbler, take players on, quick, agile, he seemed like he was like running in quicksand a few times, and he was like quite a few of our players, but Nelson as well was one of these. He couldn't turn quickly.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't know what the issue was, so I'm going to give Nelson a 4.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to give Nelson a 4.
I'll give Nelson probably a 6. Because I think that he came on, he showed a bit of personality, trying to dribble and take people on. He worked like a dog. He came on the circumstances 10 men, so he was very limited to what he's going to do attacking wise.
I'm going to push mine to a 5. I'm going to push mine to a 5.
Yeah, I mean, and you've got to think about it as well. The guy's first Premier League, I think it's his first Premier League showing. I think it is this season. And he hasn't played many games this season in terms of like he's been injured and stuff like that. So cut him a bit of slack. I'll give him a 6.
Who else do we bring on?
Saka.
Oh shit. Saka, because he only played a half. I'm gonna give Saka for the half he played.
Not even a half, bro. He played that. Yeah, he played that 30 minutes.
30 minutes. I'm gonna give him a 7. I think Saka did really well. Going forward and did decent going back, but that chance I can't get it out of my mind, that chance, and that's a reoccurring issue now, and he did it a few times as well with England. He misses good opportunities. Yeah. So he missed that chance, but he got into that position and he was working like an absolute animal. I want to give him a 7.
Okay, I'll give Saka an 8. I think when you talk about things like technical ability and decision making and stuff like that.
He's everything Willock is not. He's
exactly.
everything Willock is not.
He is so bro. The way he plays is like he's 27.
Yeah.
His decision making is so on point. Did you see the part at one point where he got the ball, and he kind of like, I don't know, he like chipped it over the player's leg, got himself into an amazing position in the middle of the park, right foot, played it out to Aubameyang, and that's when we should have got a penalty. But that was just...
Yeah. I think from what he showed yesterday, I think he's ready to play as a winger. Even because that run that he made onto the through ball, that's from out to in.
Yeah.
That's like a proper winger as well.
And the thing with Saka is, in them positions, we needed him because he's the only player that can get us up the pitch so quickly in a situation where we're down to 10 men, we're trying to counter attack.
The game was dying up yesterday, man.
Yeah, man. And yes, like... Yeah, I agree with you that Saka missed a good chance and stuff, but like finishing hopefully will come for him. Like he's still a young boy and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd give him an 8. I love Saka.
Is Maitland-Niles deserving of a rating?
Nah,
did he play long enough?
I think he came on at the 90th minute.
Was it the 90th minute?
I think so. Yeah, I think he came on the 90th minute when Saka got injured or something. Yeah.
And last but not least, Arteta.
I'll give Arteta a 7. I think we didn't start off the game good enough in terms of. The actual football wasn't great, but I don't think that's his fault. He made the right decisions in terms of personnel. He made the right decision formation-wise. So I don't really think that's his fault. And then when we went down to 10 men, he organised the team well. He made the right substitutions. We should have arguably won the game. Okay, we conceded a few chances, but that's to be expected with the 10 men. But yeah, I'd give him a 7.
I'm going to give Arteta a 7 for slightly different reasons. I think he organised the team very well when we went down to 10 men because, like you said, their chances were more edge of the box or crosses rather than breaking us down. He's picked the right team, picked the correct formation. I just think I would have given him an 8, but I just think when Pepe shoved Alioski in the middle of the park, like a minute or so before, Arteta maybe should have been in his ear to calm him down. And
I mean, that
eventually it led to Pepe sending off.
Which is fair enough, but at the end of the day, that shows the maturity of our players that Arteta almost now has to control every single action on the pitch, every movement on the pitch. He has to have 10 eyes because Pepe did that off the ball. So you got to be having to look like it's mad. It's mad. Our players are just terrible, to be honest.
Yeah. But there you go. So that's our ratings and our review of the match and the sort of the situations that happened during the game. It's been good. Look forward to recording with you again. I mean, obviously we had our big differences in the ratings. It started off well. What happened?
Yeah, I know.
It was all downhill.
Went to our attack and I would just attack.
You went in.
Oh god.
But yeah, so I think to wrap things up, I think Arteta did after the first episode. I think Arteta did better than I expected. I was happy with some of the decisions he made, and ultimately he proved me wrong with Willock, and he's just not good enough. And we'll see what happens with the upcoming matches. With the upcoming episodes, we'll see what we discuss next.
Nice one, mate.